Hi everyone, welcome to Unapologetically You. I'm really excited to be here and talk about this today. I had an interview yesterday with at My Elite Mastermind on Instagram, sorry. And it was great. We had a great conversation. We talked about a lot of things, namely success principles from Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. And he asked me what my two favorite principles are. They're all great principles. If you haven't read the book, I really suggest that you go and read the book. It's fantastic for just everyday life. But the one that came to mind right away was desire. So having a burning desire to do something different with your life. And I related that to when I was leaving teaching, or before I left, probably a couple of years before, I had a burning desire to do something different. I didn't know what it looked like. I had no idea what I was going to do. Again, I'm a realist. I know I have to pay the bills, but I knew that what I was living wasn't my authentic self. And I really wanted to branch out and really live my authentic self. So that was the step, right? The desire to do something different. So then I meditated on it. I prayed about it. I journaled about it. And I waited for an answer, because when you're making big decisions, you want to lead from the heart. You don't want to lead from the head. If you're leading from the head, then ego is in charge. And I knew I didn't want my ego to be in charge, because let's face it, if you're thinking about like making a massive shift, you don't want to make the wrong decision, although there is no wrong decisions. But for me, thinking about leaving teaching, that was a scary thing, right? I had everything there for me: benefits, secure job, pension, etc. So, but the desire was leading me, but I knew I needed it to be a heart-centered decision. So I prayed and meditated, like I said. Okay, so that's the first thing I did. The second principle that comes to mind for me is having faith. And faith doesn't mean, a religious background, a religious faith. It just means having faith in things unseen, right? There's a saying, I'll believe it when I see it. It's the exact opposite, right? You will see it when you believe it, or when you have the faith that it's coming to fruition. So until you can have the faith in yourself, have the faith in the universe that it's working behind the scenes, then you're really not going to see it. Because what does our ego always want? It's constantly in the way, right? We're always fighting with our ego. Our ego's saying, you can't do that. So there's the limiting beliefs. Again, I'll believe it when I see it. That's all ego, you guys. You need to move from your head to your heart. And the only way I know how to do that is through prayer and meditation. That is the only way. And surrendering and giving it up to a higher power, and whatever that looks like for you. This is not religious. It could, whatever name you want to give it, your higher power, the universe, source, whatever name you want to call it. There's a higher power working for you, and you need to be able to surrender and relinquish control in order to be successful, in order to move ahead. And I say success, but again, that's subjective, right? That everybody's success is different. But whatever that looks like for you, and whatever you're trying to attain, you've got to just give that up. And Napoleon Hill talks about that in his books. He's talking about the law of attraction. But the law of attraction is only one law, right? You can go look them up. There's several laws to the universe, but that's only one law. And what I know about the law of attraction is we are all very good at asking for what we want, but we fall short on surrendering and being patient and allowing the universe to work for us. So when I went through my very difficult stretch last year, and I talked about that in my last video, my very difficult financial stress, I had to just be able to surrender to a higher power and know that I can't see the whole picture. I certainly don't know what's going to happen in the future, but I do know that my higher power, my source energy, the universe, has bigger eyes than I do and can see what's ahead. So I had to really learn how to surrender. It was a big lesson for me in surrendering. So what I want to say to you, if any of you have this burning desire to do something, or even if you know you're feeling stuck, but you don't know what that desire is, and you know that you're feeling like you're meant for something greater, as I felt when I was in teaching, my advice to you is to just go quiet. Get really quiet, go within, do some heart-centered work, get out of your head. Just get out of your head. You can't solve anything in your head. And then go into having that faith and believing. There's a Huna principle that goes along with desire that I really love, and I think it's very fitting for that principle of Napoleon Hill's. And it's, there are no limits. There are no limits to what you can create in your mind. So you have to remember that. You've got to get out of the limiting thoughts that are in your mind. So that's one. And then also the other Huna principle I attribute to desire is energy flows where attention goes. So whatever you're putting your attention on is where the energy is flowing. So if you're stuck in a feeling of lack, you don't have anything, you can't do anything, you can't go anywhere, whatever your thoughts are, those were mine. Whatever your thoughts are, that's where energy is flowing, and you are creating more of what is happening in your life. So what is happening in your life right now is a direct result of what you thought yesterday. But you can change that, you guys. You really can change that. When we talk about faith and belief, the Huna principle that comes to mind for me is now is the moment of power. Now, present. Get really heart-centered, get really present. It's not, now is the moment of power. Now is when you have the faith that you believe. It's not, you can't be looking ahead, so you can't be driving a car and looking in your rearview mirror. So the past doesn't exist, right? You have to stay centered and present at all times. So those are just some quick thoughts I had on the interview I had yesterday. If you haven't seen the interview, I encourage you to go look at it. Vahid has some great content on his Instagram page. If you're on Instagram, it's at Elite Mastermind. It's fantastic. I encourage you to go look at it. All the Instagram IGTV videos he has out there. He's really, really coming from a heart-centered place and really shining a light on entrepreneurs as well. So I hope you're having a great day, and that's all I wanted to say. And I really hope all of you just stay unapologetically you.